Hello to all of my chat family. This is Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of A Real Talk with Marlene. And I got a question for you guys today. And I feel like this is a really good question. And it's going to be different for everybody. Everybody's going to be different. It's going to be a lot of factors, but here is the question. What makes a man or a woman good for you? And when I say this, I mean romantically. So whoever you're choosing, what makes that person a good person for you? It's going to be different for everybody, right? I understand that. And we can always share various opinions over here as long as it's respectful. But it's something that I was just thinking about. And I honestly believe that it depends on your age and your maturity. I mean, your personal experiences. Because when you're younger, you just may not know. You may not know what's going on. Um, Hi, Big Boy Snacks. How are you doing? All is well here. I hope all is well with you too. And happy Wednesday. So, I definitely wanted to say this to all of you. Hey, always. How are you doing? Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. I'm glad you're doing good. I am coming back to this point, and I didn't plan this live. It came in my thoughts, and I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. So, for me, I think it really depends on your age, your maturity, and your personal experience. Sometimes, until you go through some things in your life, that you actually find out what you really want, what you actually need. And your response is going to differ, and it should differ. The things that you wanted when you were 18 should not be the things that you want when you turn 50, 60 and up. It's supposed to elevate, it's supposed to grow, it's supposed to be centered on healthy thinking, being reasonable, being mature. And it should come from a healed standpoint. And there's so many people who don't show up from a healed standpoint. They rather vibrate in the negative, and selfish, and not caring about anybody other than themselves. But over here, we focus more on the real, the honest, and not the trivial, not the mundane, the childish stuff. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. When I was younger, it was all about cracking my back. Okay. That's all I cared about. It was only about having my needs met sexually. That I didn't care about anything else. I don't know about all of my chat family over here, but when I was younger, I didn't care about anything else. I was not looking for the commitment thing. I wasn't looking for other things. I was just looking for what I was going to receive. And there's not a lot of women who will say that. It's not a lot of men who will say it either. But I'm just a real woman, an honest woman, a transparent woman that I can say what I feel. But now that I'm older, I realize that there has to be layers in a relationship. It has to be more than just, it has to be more than sex. And some people, they never vibrate higher than that. And it's nothing wrong with it. Sex is a beautiful thing in a relationship. But if that's all you have going in your relationship, I'm going to tell you guys that that's not going to be a lasting relationship. It won't last. You got to have some heaviness, some weight, some purpose to the relationship. Now, next, we have to talk about one of the most important things is defining what good looks like to you, because what's going to look good for you as a woman or as a man may not look good for the next person. And you do have to go through some things. You got to talk yourself through some things. And is this good based on the way I grew up or what society wants me to be? The way your relatives want you to be? Or is this what you as a human being, as an individual, actually want? Because so many people that they're living their life, living out their parents, their siblings, their friends, society's way of thinking how they should be. And do you find yourself in that box of getting things, wanting things, desiring things because other people have told you that is what's good? And I am honest enough to say that when I was younger, before I knew me and healed me and got therapy and was able to actually speak up and really think about what I wanted, there's a lot of things that I thought that I needed. And it's not what I needed, it's what other people told me that I needed. But it takes a really mature woman or a really mature man to be honest enough to say this. Let's see what I missed. I missed some comments here. Yes, thank you so much always for dropping all of my channel stuff. Thank you so much. I don't see First Lady. Hmm. Oh no, I'm not even seeing her comments. Um, so let me get back to this. Let me ask you all a question. Why do you want to be in the relationship? I think this is a very important question about what makes a man or a woman good for us. What makes them good for you? Why are you in the relationship? I think that's very important to define when you are looking for your person, because depending on that answer, that's what you're going to draw to you like a magnet. Why are you in there? Are you in there? Is this just you having fun? Or are you looking for commitment? Are you like, what's your purpose? Because that will also kind of gear what kind of person you will find. Hey, Sirius, there you are. Yes, happy Wisdom Wednesday. I hope you're doing great. Happy Wednesday to you and all of the chat family. Oh, you were in the skybox? Oh, okay. So that was one of the things that, I'm really thinking about this and not just being superficial, not just being on the surface. It's a lot of people who talk about that's not a good man or that's not a good woman, but they haven't actually gone below the surface, because some people are just superficial. They're only going by the looks, or they're only going by a person's income, how they look on the outside, but not really looking for the qualities that will be lasting, like what sort of personality do they have? What kind of challenges have they faced to make them be good for you? You know, have they, what kind of challenges have they gone through and overcome and still, come through on the other side? Because a lot of times people don't even know who they are within themselves before they go out searching for what they call a quote unquote good woman or a good man. For I think you first have to start with yourself and knowing who you are before you can know what actually is good, not only to you but for you. So that's another question. Why are you in the relationship? Another one is, are you in the relationship for commitment, or are you just having fun? That's a very important part of the relationship. And it takes time. It takes being honest, and it takes paying attention to the energy. Really listen to what that person is telling you, and not just what they're telling you, but also the energy that you feel. Because it's a lot of times people will talk about is a good woman or a good man, but they're only on the surface. They're only talking about how they look. Oh, that's a fine man, that's a fine woman, but they're only talking about the attraction part. But what about the long term? Or is that a person who will actually commit to you? And how did they act in previous relationships? All of these things is very important in finding your good person. The track record actually does matter. Okay, always, no problem. So I wanted to say to you guys, what do you guys think about it? And then I only have two more points. I told you guys I didn't plan this, and I'm not going to be here long, but I think this is something that a lot of people they overlook in finding your good person. Many people overlook communication. Communication is the key to all good, healthy. Notice I said healthy, heavy on healthy communication, because all communication does not mean it's good. There's a lot of toxicity in relationships, and it starts from the beginning. A person who doesn't communicate properly, um, remains silent, and gives you the silent treatment, is very immature in the way that they talk, and want to scream and berate you, make you feel less than. That All of those things are signs, and it's literally people show you literally who they are. They really do. But you have to be not only mature enough to see it, you have to want to see it and go with your eyes open, and not just be in that that's a good looking woman, or that's a good looking man. So people take things so superficial. They focus too much on looks, and not the sort of person that they actually are. And they got to do we have to do better. Ladies, you have to do better. Gentlemen, you have to do better. Um, Communication, and I mean healthy communication. What do you think? Learning to listen, um, and not overtalk the other, not dominate the other person, not trying to control the other person's opinions. And it's okay if we have different opinions. That's what makes relationships beautiful, is the two people coming together, having different thoughts and ideas and perspectives. But is that what you want in your life? So that's why I say, what makes a person good? I hear people talk about this all the time. They're always on this search for this good man, or on this search for a good woman. And my question is, what makes them good? What sort of thing actually turns that person? What separates a good woman from a bad one? Is it the way they treat you? Is it income? And I gotta ask this, people really talk about money, and I do understand and get it that money is important in a relationship. Um, it's over 50% of divorce happens because of money issues. So when people say, "Oh, money doesn't matter," that's not true. Money does matter, but it's about how you focus that money in the relationship. Is money the only thing in the relationship, or are there other things? That's why I said a good, healthy, mature relationship should have levels. That, yes, of course, it's important. Money is important. Communication is important. Talking through things, having a level head, I think that's one of the most important things as well, is being able that when you're going through some sort of a struggle and problem, that you're able to talk through it. And for me, that's one of the things that I think can really separate a person being good for you or not. Especially when you don't agree. For me, that is the sign of a good man for me, when something is happening and they can come to you and talk about every and everything without it being pointed fingers, without making you feel like trash. Like, they can communicate effectively without it being a blame game, without it being, you know, uh, arguments, shouting. For me, it's one of the most attractive things to me, as a woman, is a man who can articulate himself, and communicate his emotions, and to the proper degree. Not controlling how you feel. Like, it's nothing wrong. How he feels is how he feels. How I feel is how I feel. But it's coming together and listening and growing together. For me, that is a sign of a good man, is that you can elevate together. It's not intimidated by your personal growth, not intimidated because of your education, not intimidated because of money. Because for me, money is one of those things, like, yeah, it's important, but if that's the only thing in the relationship, it's like you don't have a good relationship. It can't be centered only on money, at least not for me. And I see so many people that's how they dominate their relationship. It's always money, money, money. Everything is money. And for me, it's the communication. That, for me, that's a sign of a good relationship and a good man, is talking your way through those hard things, to say things that is very touchy, very sensitive. A good listener, for me, is a sign of a good man. Not dominating, not telling you how you feel. That's one of the sure ways for me to get turned off, is when someone tells you, you shouldn't feel that way. It's a huge turn off for me. Just like I could never, how can a man tell a woman how she feels, and for me, vice versa? I don't understand that. You can't walk in the other person's shoes. You can't know what they're going through. But for me, it's support, it's understanding, and patience. For me, it's heavy on support. Supporting that person how they need to be supported. And most people, they in a relationship, will support people how they want to be supported. Well, I'm not a crier, so, but I am. So if you have somebody and they are emotionally driven, or are you going to be there to support them, sit and listen to them, show affection and support, not just about they what you actually need. For me, a good man is self-sacrificing. And I don't mean to empty himself and to be a simp, as they call them, but to think about, to foresee my needs, and lighten my load. For me, that's a sign of a good man. Like, I they know what I need. I don't have to even say it. For me, it's like, lighten my load. That's a good man for me. I don't have to be like, do this and do that. For me, it's like, if I have to always tell you everything, lay out, put all the cards out, it's like, oh, why are you here? That's just for me. Siri says some people have these unrealistic expectations of a person. They aesthetically look for that ideal person instead of looking deep within that person. That is my attraction to a man, his intellect. Yes. For me, that's a really big deal as well. First lady is a really big deal for me. If there can't be deep conversations, and it has to be deep conversations about so many different things. And if they can't get on that level and have that sort of communication, if they're not a person who is emotionally intelligent, it can't work. That's for me. That's so important for me. It's very high on my list. They have to be very emotionally intelligent, and there cannot be manipulation. I cannot do a manipulative person at all. For me, a good man can say what he means and stand on it. And they can have leadership qualities without being overbearing. For me, it's patience, calmness in the storm. Like for me, it's very important when I'm on 10. I'm definitely gonna have to have a man that can be on 5 and below. Because if I'm already on 10 and then he goes to 10, it's like, no. Mm-mm. For me, I feel like the person that you're with has to has to possess what you lack. And that doesn't mean that you are a bad person, but I think that the person that you're with should be able to bring out what you don't possess. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about being in a loving relationship is having somebody that can do whatever it is that you need them to do without you even having to ask. That's such a big deal. It's something that I think a lot of women do not communicate, but I am wise enough to say that I don't want to have to say X, Y, and Z. I want it has to be a person that knows me, knows what I like, knows what I want, knows how to calm me without being aggravating and yeah, heavy on cannot be aggravating because I'm a person that I have to have my own space and I can't have somebody who's what you doing, what you doing, what you doing 50 times a day. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how you ladies or gentlemen do it, but that's not for me. I'm definitely a space person. I got to have my space. A man, conversation, their drive, eye contact, direction, security, respect gets my wheels turning. Yeah. A man who knows what he wants. Because I hear that people say that a lot of times when they find their person, they'll find out what they want. I need a person who has their own goals. They got to have their own goals and they have to be having their own life already. When you find your person, it should just be the icing on the cake, but it shouldn't be the end all. Is I feel that a lot of people they put so much energy into being with a person and it's just no. I just feel like you'll burn out. You have to have your life, they have to have theirs, and you meet somewhere in the middle and you encourage each other, you support each other. But I definitely believe that most people do not have their own lives. They dominate their life by the person that they're with, and that is what brings people down and makes people depressed and why people have roving eyes. If you have your own life and you have a person who is secure within their womanhood and their manhood, that I don't think that there should have to be 50 million check-ins in a day, but courtesy, maybe once or twice a day, that's cool, that's nice. But the 50 check-ins per day, I don't know about that part. So I just wanted to ask you guys these questions, and I'm definitely going to circle back to this conversation. But I wanted to get the ball rolling on what you guys think about what makes a man or a woman good, a good woman or a good man. But I'm going to end on this note saying, take time to get to know yourself, ask yourself some questions, and also you'll know the good person for you is when you leave them. You should feel refreshed, you should feel at peace, you should be growing as a woman, or you should be growing as a man in their presence. Like their time, their energy should bolster you, it should empower you to want to be a better version of yourself. But if you're in a relationship and it's constantly always you pouring into them and always having you're always taking care of them, but it's never reciprocated, it's never you're receiving back. And I think a lot of people will say things like, oh, you're selfish if you want things back. No, that is the source of notice I said healthy relationship. If you have a good person, a healthy person, a committed person, a wise person, they're going to want you to be getting your rest and taking care of your body, and have good mental health, and communicate and have good friendships. But it's the toxic ones, the manipulators, the narcissists, bad exes, things that maybe you've gone through in your past, maybe what you've seen in your upbringing that may cause you to feel a certain way about things. But older, I think we should shift our perspective to not what your maybe what your ex did, or whatever, how you were raised and things like that, but actually knowing who you are, knowing what you want, and being with a person that is committed, loyal, supportive, respectful, kind, and not dominant. The person who can you can talk to about things, and they're going to talk to you about things that maybe are some things that you need to work on, without making you feel like garbage, like being supportive. you know what can I do to help you to be better at this or that? And I think that most people are intimidated by someone who challenges them to be a better version of yourself. And my personal opinion is, if you can't have somebody who's going to say, hey, whatever your goal, what about this? I thought you were working on that. How can I help you to get to your goal? But notice I said reciprocated. It can't just be that you're with somebody and you're helping them to achieve all of their goals, and your mental health is messed up, you're gaining or losing weight because they're stressing you out. A good woman or a good man is going to want you to rest. A good woman or man is going to give you peace. I'm more keen to someone that can profoundly help me when the noise gets loud without judging the sound. Some think I'm high maintenance, but if you get to know me, I just know what I want. Mm. And that's a good thought for us to bring today's real talk conversation to an end. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you're watching on the replay or if you have been here listening, I thank you so much. Feel free to subscribe to the channel for more Real Talk podcast conversations. And I just want all of my chat family here to, I want you to have healthy, loving, romantic relationship. And if you don't have it, keep searching, keep seeking. It's not always going to be wrapped up in a bow exactly who we think it's going to be. Sometimes it will be a surprise as to the person who is that good woman or that good man for you. Um, but you can't walk in with rose-colored glasses. You can't have a this long laundry list. You have to still be reasonable and you have to be wise. And don't let people play you and catfish you. Staying in a relationship for years and you know that person is not committed to you, they will never commit to you. But that's going into another podcast conversation. But I thank you guys for your support and please subscribe if you are new. I am Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. And yes, everyone, have a blessed and successful day on purpose. I thank you guys for your support, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.